land is a common issue, a common situation we have in south of Portugal, that the land is really stagnated after deforestation, overgrazing and plowing with the heavy machines. We have a big problem of desertification. Without forest, the erosion will go on. The soil is very, very compact, very rocky, and almost no humus, no organic matter. You interrupt the water cycle, which is the main problem of the desertification we have in south of Portugal.
As most of Europe know, through millennia of civilizations, we have lost the natural forestation, and this area has been farmed and then abandoned for a long time. And now what we want is to help nature to recover and to regenerate much faster than it would naturally. So humans already put so much effort and took so much from this land, and now we want to give back and help it to reestablish itself to abundance as fast as possible. The line of agroforestry that we follow, it's Syntropic agriculture. So it sees the forest as an organism, as one thing living and functioning together. So that's what we're trying to recreate here actually. A forest with diversity of species, but also diversity of functions. So how fast they grow, what strata of the forest they occupy. And all of them working together and helping each other to grow will create quite quickly a beautiful forest.
A primavera chegou.
So we made these rip lines in contour line to make the soil loose, and we have a depth of 50 centimeters, more or less, of decompact soil. The idea here for the rip lines is to improve water infiltration. The soil gets very loose, so the trees will have much more success making roots and establishing in this place. Every 2 meters you're gonna have a tree and a bush, and again a tree and a bush to fill up the layers, the different layers. And we have to cover it with straw to not let all this soil open for dehydration.
A primavera chegou.
Most of what we are planting grows naturally in the region. Yes, from Medronho to the oak family, pine nuts, strawberry tree, carob tree, they grow around this area. This kind of oak, Quercus faginia, we are choosing, moisture and more protected places, not so exposed. So we're working what is resilient and we know that is growing in these lands. Planting, as best combined as possible.
Pintou telas que lançou.
Later we will make a mix of seeds from trees and bushes, from many other species. So we are bringing genetics, a lot of variety of genetics, and we have the luxury of choosing in the future what we want here. So we don't need to be just waiting for this one to grow. We work with abundance, so we can have abundance of choice and choose the one that is growing better and is more fitted with the others. But with this we cannot tell now. We have to see in the first few years how they go with each other, how they established. So choice is good. Abundance brings choice.
Lábios doces, delicados, raízes espreguiçadas, efêmero rebentar, perfumes, néctar dourado, noite e dia são iguais.
Here with the intervention, I'm guessing that we could see very nice results from the second and third year onward. Let's say 1 year to establish, the second year they shoot out. and in the 3, 4, 5 years you will have like a different site and you know that there is a forest growing. If nobody did anything, it would be maybe 50 years to see something, and I say that we will do it in 5 to 7, something like this.
Floriu campos, floriu monte.
With this we want to connect small patches, and then in the future we're gonna have bigger areas of forest that will fight back the desertification by holding water in the landscape and biodiversity. When you reach a certain scale on reforestation, you can improve the climate. So we're gonna have more rain probably, we're gonna have more fresh water running again in the streams. You're gonna fill up the boreholes. This will take time, but the goal is this, is to one day in 30 years we're gonna have back the abundance of water this area used to have maybe 100 years, 200 years ago.
Pintou telas que lançou. Água, cores e sol. Ramos de flores cheiros de mil cores, ninhos de cera, chama acesa. A primavera que nos diz bom dia, calor que aquece, sol e adormece.
So the end of last year we planted all the fruit and forest trees, but we also put vegetables to support the system and to create the first stage of the forest. And the first ones that took the canopy were the favas, the broad beans. They are nitrogen fixers, so they are, when we take them out, we just cut them close to the soil, and the roots with the bacteria and the nitrogen nodes, they stay and they are going to feed the whole life in the soil and the trees as well. They did a wonderful job, they produced a lot, but now they are going into end of the life. So we want to take them out to make sure that this information of dying doesn't stay in the system and doesn't inform also the trees that we want to get growing as much as possible. And now when we take them out, then the tree cabbages are going to be doing the same function. Beyond producing a lot of food, they are great protectors and mothers for our baby trees. So they will protecting them from the sun during the summer, and that will be very important for how much they take and how much they grow well. And here we can see how the cabbage trees also give material for chop and drop, and support the growth also of the cuttings that we put here. We see a poplar taking very well, and then this poplar is going to replace the cabbage tree in a year or two to make this function of protecting the fruit trees, giving organic matter, and also giving the growth information when we prune them.
Plantas que crescem.
I mean, that's the thing, no? It's a continuous growing system, and as in any forest, you have these stages that go one after the other until eventually you have a mature forest. But you also then going to have a tree falling down and opening a clearance, and then everything starts again, but already from a level of life that is much better, which is what we are creating here in the soil, no? With all this organic matter, the wood, the nitrogen. But the poplar in 2-3 years will already have quite a few meters, and the fruit trees will be giving as well. And that's what you would usually call a forest.
Entre a terra e o céu, onde está mais?